Most men have no idea what actually turns a woman on. They think it's compliments, jokes, or endless talking. But the truth? It happens in a single moment, when you say one thing in the middle of a normal conversation. Not a pickup line, not flattery, but a raw, unexpected truth that makes her body react before her mind can even catch up. Women won't admit this, but psychology proves it. Desire isn't about talking more, it's about saying less and striking at the exact right moment. And once you learn this, she'll never forget you. 1. The power of naming what no one else dares to say. Most men drown in safe words, boring small talk, recycled compliments, surface-level chatter. But the man who slips one raw, unfiltered truth into the middle of a conversation, he ignites her. Why? Because women are constantly testing for honesty under pressure, and when you name something no one else dares to say, something real, grounded and bold, you separate yourself from every other man vying for her attention. Picture this. She's telling a story, laughing nervously, brushing her hair aside. Most men nod along, trying too hard to keep it light. But the stoic man pauses, lets silence breathe, then calmly says, "You know, you do that every time you get nervous." Boom. She freezes, not offended but electrified. Because you've seen her. You've put words to something real. And in that moment she feels naked, exposed, not in body, but in truth. Psychologists call this disarming authenticity. People crave recognition at their core, not just flattery. Compliments fade, but when you articulate a truth about her, especially one that others ignore, she feels pierced, connected, desired on a level deeper than appearance. This doesn't mean blurting out every thought. Stoicism is about timing, restraint, and calm delivery. When you say it like a man who isn't seeking approval, but simply revealing what he observes. No need for jokes, no need for nervous energy. Just steady, grounded words. And here's the secret. When you say something real, her body responds before her mind can rationalize it. A shiver, a blush, a nervous laugh. It's all desire disguised as surprise. The man who names what no one else dares to say doesn't just flirt, he rewires her attraction. 2. The shock of direct desire, spoken calmly. Women hear desire from men all the time, but almost always in clumsy, needy ways. Drunken confessions, over-the-top compliments, desperate admissions. None of it sticks, because it reeks of weakness. But when a man, mid-conversation, calmly drops a line of direct desire without flinching, it transforms the energy instantly. Imagine this. You're talking about books, movies, work, mundane, everyday chatter. Then, without warning, you look at her steadily and say, "You have no idea how hard it is not to kiss you right now." Then you go silent. No laughter, no fidgeting, no excuses. Just calm, grounded truth. That moment hits harder than 100 compliments. Why? Because it's unexpected, it's raw, and it's controlled. You've admitted desire without begging, without apologizing, without pressuring. It's not a request, it's a revelation. And women are drawn to men who reveal desire without fear. Psychologists describe this as erotic tension escalation. When a sudden injection of truth breaks through ordinary dialogue, it spikes adrenaline, dopamine, and sexual arousal. Her brain goes from casual to intimate in a split second. And because you're calm, it doesn't feel creepy. It feels inevitable. The Stoic man uses this sparingly. He doesn't toss it out to every woman he meets. He waits until the moment is charged, then delivers it like a blade through the air, quick, sharp, impossible to ignore. That restraint makes it powerful. Here's the paradox. Men who scream their desire repel women. Men who hide it completely bore them. But men who reveal it calmly, at the exact right moment, Turn them on in ways they'll never admit out loud. 3. The unspoken command hidden in a question. Most men ask questions for information. What do you do? Where are you from? Boring, forgettable. But the most attractive men slip questions into conversation that aren't just about words. They're subtle commands, pulling her deeper into intimacy. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like this restaurant?" you lean in slightly, eyes steady, and say, "Tell me what you're really thinking right now." That's not just curiosity, it's dominance disguised as interest. It forces her to drop the mask and reveal something real, and when she does, the connection doubles. Psychologists call this directive framing. When you phrase questions as invitations to reveal hidden thoughts, it activates vulnerability and trust. It's not small talk, it's an unspoken command that pulls her closer. And because it's wrapped in calm confidence, she feels compelled to answer. Here's another. In the middle of laughter and jokes, you pause, hold eye contact and ask, "What's the thing you never tell anyone?" Boom. Suddenly, the air shifts. The playful surface melts into raw honesty. She feels exposed, but also chosen, because you're not asking everyone, you're asking her. The Stoic man uses these moments sparingly, like hidden daggers. He doesn't bombard her with questions. He drops one at the exact right time, then lets silence hold. That silence forces her to step into the space you've created, to reveal, to submit to the intimacy you've engineered. And here's the kicker. It's not about the answer. It's about the shift in energy. That moment when she realizes you're not like other men, you see her, you challenge her, and you command her truth. This is why women get turned on when you say this in conversation, because it's not the words themselves. It's the authority behind them, the timing, the fearless honesty that pierces through the noise. 4. The vulnerable truth that feels forbidden. There's one thing most men run from: vulnerability. They hide it behind bravado, jokes, or endless stories meant to look impressive. But here's the paradox. When a man calmly drops a vulnerable truth in the middle of a conversation, women feel an almost electric pull toward him. Why? Because vulnerability, when paired with strength, signals deep confidence. Imagine this. She's teasing you, joking, maybe even testing you with light banter. Most men would fight back with louder jokes or defensiveness, but instead, you pause, give a small smile, and say something unexpected. "You know, I don't let many people see this side of me." Or, "I don't admit this often, but yeah, that actually got to me." It's not weakness, it's rawness wrapped in calm composure. Psychologists call this vulnerable dominance. You're revealing a piece of yourself, but doing so without fear, without apology. And that combination disarms her. She feels you're both safe and dangerous. Safe because you trust her with truth. Dangerous because you're strong enough not to care what she thinks. Here's the catch. You can't fake it. Forced vulnerability is transparent and manipulative. But real, casual truths, spoken in the middle of ordinary talk, feel like forbidden glimpses into your core. And that forbidden glimpse, it turns her on. Why? Because women crave depth. They want to feel they're accessing a part of you that no one else gets. And when you reveal something quietly vulnerable, you create intimacy in seconds that most men can't build in weeks. The Stoic man knows vulnerability is a weapon, not when it's poured out desperately, but when it's rationed, precise and timed. That's why women replay those moments over and over, long after the words are gone. 5. The playful provocation that forces her to feel. Another secret. Women get turned on when you disrupt their patterns. If the conversation flows too smoothly, too predictably, attraction dies. But slip in a playful provocation, something that lightly challenges her in the middle of normal talk, and suddenly she feels alive, tested, awakened. Picture this. She's explaining her favorite type of movie, passionately describing why it's the best. Most men nod, agree, and over-validate, but you tilt your head, smirk slightly and say, "That's cute, but you don't really believe that." Silence, tension. Then she laughs, pushes your arm, insists she does. That reaction isn't anger, it's engagement. She's feeling you, not just hearing you. Psychologists call this benign provocation. It's teasing that disrupts without offending, stirring attraction by forcing the brain to re-engage. It's why banter works when done right. It pushes her slightly off balance, then reels her back in with warmth. The Stoic man does this without being cruel. He doesn't insult. He doesn't belittle. Instead, he introduces just enough friction to spark fire. Like saying, "You talk tough, but I don't think you could handle me for 5 minutes." Delivered calmly, with a slight smile, it flips the frame. Suddenly, she's the one proving herself. And here's the magic. Women crave men who can create this push-pull dynamic. It mirrors attraction itself, tension and release, distance and closeness, danger and safety. A playful provocation in the middle of a conversation is like tossing gasoline on a flickering flame. It turns ordinary talk into erotic energy. The mistake younger men make is pushing too far, being mean, cocky, or defensive. But the attractive man balances it with charm. He provokes, then softens. He teases, then steadies. And the result? She can't stop thinking about him. If you're ready to master this kind of attraction, the calm, stoic confidence that makes women crave you without you even trying, hit that subscribe button right now. And drop the word precision in the comments if you want me to reveal even more of these hidden psychological triggers women hope you'll never figure out. Because once you learn to speak less and say the right things at the right moment, she'll never forget you.